So, my name is Donna Adelson, and I decided that I was going to do this. I decided that I was going to come to the masses to talk to the masses about my trial. It started on Friday. You know, jury selection. We had to deal what we had to deal with. We had to pick through all of these Tallahassee people. I have nothing against them. I know that I said that they were a bunch of rednecks, but I'm here. And maybe I could show a little goodwill. A little goodwill to all of these Southerners, these rednecks in Tallahassee. They forget that I'm about as south as they get. I was living in Miami. That's further south. I'm a Southerner. But I want to show some goodwill, so I kind of put together a little song so that maybe these rednecks can understand where I'm coming from. I have my attorney, Jackie. I picked her because she looks like me, but I'm better looking. My googly eyes can see. Jackie's got an uphill battle. We can deflect all day long. As far as my co-counsel fella, I can't remember his name for this song. I ain't as good as I once was. Being in jail has aged me a bit. I ain't as good as I once was. Stool softeners help me shit. Being on trial is not a game that I intend to lose, but pay my way. I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm good enough to get out of it. I hope they understand that I'm just a grandmother. I do have a little bit about myself that's a little upper crust and everything, but I've been sitting in jail in Tallahassee, for so long now. I just want to go home to Harvey. But I want to talk to you tonight. I want to give you the opportunity to ask me anything you would like to ask. As I weigh your question, I want to talk about Jackie Fulford, okay? She's my soul twin. Although I'll have to say that she doesn't have the silver spoon that I exhibit. But I just want to ask you now, come on, you have to let me know who's the better looking. Is it this number one or this number two? Who looks better? Put it in the comments. I think that we could be soul sisters. I just cannot believe how much Jackie Fulford looks just like me. Please put in the comments. This Kathy Barella says number two. What about number one? See the beauty. Yes, I see at the ends of my hair. I need some more highlights. But this one right here is more even kill. Bonnie Baker says 1. Oh, yes. You'll see the sleekness, the beauty of me. I mean, look at it. It just is the brain of my DNA. I'm so much better than everybody else. Kathy says, I think they both look alike. Well, I think so too. I do. Look, we could be soul sisters. Oh, look. See the lines on the mouth. See how they line up perfectly. And yes, she has glasses that aren't as expensive as mine. I have very sleek nature. And our hairdos, you see the part. Oh, don't worry. When I get out of all of this, I'm going back to the blonde. I'm going to make sure that Jackie Fulford is jealous of me. Anyway, I want to know something before we get into the Q&A. Why is Harvey having such a good time? You know, he told me on a telephone call that he's been spending a little money on a website. It's called Vivacious Vietnam, where he gets to look at all these beautiful Vietnamese women and he gets to ask them out on a date, but he says he would never do it because we've been married for so many years. But when he got in the camera on jury instruction day, he was doing this and smiling. He was wearing a black leather jacket like Danny and Sandy, you know. You're the one that I want, one that I want. Ooh, 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 honey, the one that I want. Oh, I'll tell you what. He's trying to be young again now that I'm not there to crack the whip on him. Oh, but he can have all the fun he wants. But I have something that I want to share with all of you. I haven't shared this with anyone, so I'm going to share it with you, me, Donald Adelson. But Jackie sneaks me cucumber finger sandwiches before court every day. I get my little cucumber sandwiches that I love so much because the jail food gives me the shits, and I'm having to take a stool softener, which backfired on me on Friday when I went pretending to be emotional, and when I went out and I pushed on my mouth like that, it came out my behind and got into my depends. I was so upset about it. I didn't want anyone to know that I shit myself. But anyway, she sends me these cucumber finger sandwiches and we talk about the latest in fashion and what's trending in the criminal trial genre. As you know, I am a high-profile case. Would I be anything otherwise? Yeah, I'll tell you what. Not being a high-profile case because of the victim, but because I'm being accused of conspiracy to commit murder. How absurd is that? These people, I mean, they got to just latch on. That's all I want from them. Latch on that I am a grandmother. I am a special grandmother. I'm so special. I want everybody to know that I am such a good person. If I'm going to pay this Fulford and this other fella, I forget his name because he rarely comes up, and I'm paying them for my defense team, it only seems right that my attorneys give an opening statement that is approved by me. First, I am a normal person. I wanted Jackie to make sure that all the jurors know. Those jurors, how despicable are they? I would have had higher upper crust stuff for on my jury and my peers, but I want them to think that I'm normal. And let me just tell you now that I have these looks. When Jackie wears black with pink underneath, I wear black sweater with blue underneath. When I wear pink, Jackie wears blue. We're so in tune with one another. But I want the jury to know that I'm a normal person. And secondly, I need to deflect from all my evil words and behavior and actions by going on and on and on about gibbers. Oh, yes, Jackie said Danny, but I know him to be gibbers. That's what I call him. Throw in there that I won one time. I was able to get my grandsons to Skype with him, with that fucker. That's what I called him. I called him a fucker. And I wonder if the jurors noticed that I couldn't come up with other examples in my opening statement of me being nice to that stupid asshole. That's what I called him this, right? Perhaps the banana bread example, could have been baked into this crock of shit opening statement, but I forgot all about it. We'll have to include it. We'll have to. Maybe Wendy this time around, just like she did in my son Charlie's, testimony that there was a banana bread. I made him banana bread if I'd had my way. I'd have been the evil queen with the apple. It's full of poison and I hand it to him. But anyway, the banana bread will suffice, and I will sit over there, even though I cannot stand Judge Everett. I cannot stand Judge Everett telling me that I have to keep my emotions in check. As soon as he said that to me, as I was trying my beautiful performance, because I taught my daughter Wendy to perform, my face went blank and I realized how pissed off I was that Judge Everett called me out. Anyway, it's time. It's time for my domestic coordinating abilities to be good use, put to good use. Not only will they see me as a wonderful grandmother and mother, but they will also see that I can absolutely make them believe everything that I want them to believe. So thirdly, I need to include in my opening statement how hard I've worked. I've slaved at the dentist office. I've got to bring it out that I was an employee of my son Charlie, that Charlie was the boss. Charlie was the boss. Give me a break. I hold the purse. I hold the checkbook. I I want money, 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 money. And if I can evade government taxes, we can play tennis back and forth with Charlie owning it, Harvey owning it. You know, we'll cheat the system, you know. But yes, bring out that Charlie was my boss, and that will help in the fact that I used my signature on those checks with Catherine McBanoir. Why Charlie was doing her, I don't know. He could have had anyone he wanted. But on the state's evidence, there is my signature. And if you notice on the signatures, they say a lot. A signature says a lot. I have got so much hubris. I'm better than you. I'm better than anybody. I spent years running Charlie and Wendy's lives, and now it's only fair at this point in opening statements that I blame them both to get out of trouble. Oh, yes, I'm not even going to go with Charlie's roll of the dice, double extortion theory. His jury didn't buy it. Why would mine? And Wendy, well, I think Little Miss needs to finally accept responsibility, and I can just feign and say I'm a grandmother. My attorney can throw in how old-fashioned she is, and the more we deflect, instead of explaining away the state's damning evidence against me, I will continue to wear the sweater jacket and the grandmother attire and continue to show fake emotion, just like I have for years with Harvey. I don't know anything about trueness on any of that. And I will fake the emotion for pity from the jury. I think the jury was very, very sympathetic of the fact that I shit myself in court. Besides the evidence of Harvey and I trying to run away to Vietnam, I think Jackie and I will have to really come up with a whopper. You know, that's the only two things. Just us taking off, to a non-extradition country. Oh, I was caught on that telephone call. The other thing is that I wanted this woman in jail to give false testimony, and in the prosecution's opening statement, they showed my handwriting trying to coach this woman to give false testimony. I guess I could say I was having, what can I say to that? I was having granny aches. I was having pains in jail, and I just wasn't myself. Ultimately, if you look at my pre-trial hearing, where I talked about my medical conditions, where I was having shooting pains down my left arm, and it was tingling and all that, and all of these things that were going on with me during the time that I've sat and waited trial, they just don't know. They just do not know that I was suffering from Xanax withdrawal. What do you think of that, y'all? What do you think? Donna, she's doing the plaid this week. She's not going with solid colors. I gotta take this makeup. Oh, Kathy says, I think Harvey is living the life of Riley with all the ladies helping him out. LOL. Cindy Arnold says, well, bless her heart. Hello, Norma Guerrera. Hello, Sam Willow. The glass is soda. Okay. Well, folks, let me tell you what. Friday, I expected a little bit more from Donna's attorney, Jackie. I did. It really just bothered me so bad. I don't know why, because Jackie Fulfer was telling the truth about when she talked about Dan Markell, about how he loved his children, he was successful and all these things. What was that strategy, y'all? Can you figure it out? Huh? The Q&A of Donna Adelson, she'll never ever tell you the truth. There's no reason to ask Donna Adelson any questions because she's set in her mind, y'all. She is set in her mind that it's her way or the highway. Charlie Adelson is the same way. They thought their shit didn't stink. They were professionals. They had a lot of money. And so people were going to listen to them over Catherine McBanawal, Luis Rivera, and Sigfredo Garcia. That's what they thought. When the rubber met the pavement, it wasn't just putting them under the bus for what they contracted out. They thought they were lower than them. Well, let me tell you something. Donna Adelson is the lowest of the low. And this whole idea that she is a grandmother who just, she's not accepting this. She's not showing in her opening statement anyway, this double extortion bullshit that her son lied on the stand about. And by the way, he's in the back room. He's in Leon County Jail, and I hope that he is a rebuttal witness because Donna is going to testify according to many attorneys. But here's something recently, if y'all haven't really looked at what's going on since opening statements and the first witnesses of this trial, former Palm Beach County attorney Dave Ehrenberg, who was a friend of Dan Markell, told Fox News Digital the long wait for trial was deliberate. The day of reckoning for Donna is here and justice has come slowly, but it is going to arrive, he said. Prosecutors had to go step by step, starting with the hitmen, then Catherine McBanawal, then Charlie Adelson. Only then did they have enough to take Donna down. And isn't that what OKJ and many of y'all said all along? Prosecutors argue Donna was the matriarch who orchestrated the killing behind the scenes. And you know what that means to me when you're talking about Donna being the matriarch, okay? That means that I guarantee you Charlie Adelson would have never sought out a fix with a hitman or anything had Donna not given the okay. It's just a pattern that is plainly seen, especially in Charlie Adelson's trial. The bottom line is the prosecution was very successful in showing. You know, some people are like, why are they showing this, listening to these phone calls of Charlie and Donna talking about Wendy's life? And all this stuff. It all added up to Donna always had to have her way. Ehrenberg said this strategy of stacking convictions was key. Quote, I don't think you get to Donna without getting to Catherine McBanawal and then Charlie Adelson first. It's been a very successful strategy and it's not done yet. Prosecutors say Donna and her son Charlie Adelson worked with hired hitman to eliminate Markell so Wendy could relocate with her children to South Florida. Now let's stop there for a minute. This Jackie Fulford woman, she said in her opening statement, there is no direct evidence
of Donna planning. There was nothing, no text message, nothing that said, hey, Charlie, I've got an idea. Hire a hitman. Folks, I've said all along that it was Charlie's idea for the hitmen, but Donna signed off and Donna paid for it. Pure and simple. And in a conspiracy to commit murder, when we're talking about legality, this Jackie Fulford can shit in one hand and hope in another. Because Donna is guilty of conspiracy to commit murder. And in the state of Florida, that's the same as Donna pulling the trigger on Dan Markel, who was an innocent man. Ehrenberg said the trial will likely move quicker than Charlie's trial because prosecutors and judges now know the case inside and out. Think about that. Judge Everett's already been on these other trials. And then the prosecutor, George Kappelman, and what's her name? Sarah Catherine Duggan. Or is it? It's Duggan, yes. They know all this. They've got everything. They've got their ducks in a row. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure out that Donna Adelson is the matriarch of conspiracy to commit murder. Donna will take the stand. This Dan Markel's friend, who is a state attorney there, he really believes Donna's going to take the stand. Y'all, I'm still okay just saying she's not going to take the stand, and I hate to say it, but that's just my opinion, and you know how wrong I can be. But I just don't think she's going to do it. Donna will take the stand. They will cross-examine her. It will be must-see TV. Do y'all remember her pre-trial hearing, her Arthur hearing that we talked about? Huh? She got on the stand, and this is also related to that. He said, one of the prosecution's sharpest tools, Ehrenberg said, is Donna's consciousness of guilt. And primarily from her 2023 attempt to flee the U.S. to Vietnam. Notably, Vietnam has no extradition with the United States of America. The best evidence for the jury will be consciousness of guilt, he says. She tried to flee the country on a one-way ticket to Vietnam. That's not how innocent people act. In 2016, the FBI conducted an undercover operation known as the Bump against Donna. An agent approached Donna in Miami posing as an extortionist tied to the killers. Quote, if you had nothing to do with the crime, he says, you'd throw the paper away. You'd throw that paper that the guy gave him away, or you'd call police. She didn't do either. She called her son, who's now in prison for life, and spoke in code about what, y'all? The TV. The TV, y'all. Which was their code. It's clear. It's not just a jump there. It's a healthy inference that TV meant murder. That's not how an innocent person acts, said Dan Markel's friend, who is a state attorney. Ehrenberg also noted contradictions in Donna's story. The Adelsons were outraged at being asked to fake a $5,000 payoff during the sting, but they were willing. They were willing to pay $300,000 when McBanawal said the killers wanted it. That doesn't make any sense, he said. Ehrenberg suggested that the defense may lean. Now, here we go, y'all. All right, this is one of Dan Markel's friend, who's a state attorney, says that Ehrenberg says the defense may lean into Donna's 75-year-old status as a grandmother and a loving mother. There's nothing loving. There's nothing loving about trying to run your children's lives when they become adults. I'm sorry. You can give advice. You can help them if they ask. But the bottom line is this woman was freaking overbearing as shit. And all she ever wanted was her damn way. In this 75-year-old status, let me tell you something, folks. At 75 years of age, this woman should have a little bit of experience in her life and should know the damn difference between right and wrong and what's good and what is evil. That makes her more culpable. It's different when you got some young damn teenager or young adult who's young, dumb, and full of cum or whatever. You can kind of maybe see a little bit of that, but this woman knew the shit. She knew it. She may hope jurors will see a frail grandmother, but she's not sympathetic, he said. She took the stand in pretrial, and we talked about this a few minutes ago, and it didn't go well, y'all. All she did, y'all, this is what she did, and you go back and you watch her pretrial hearing, her Arthur hearing, where she talked about her medical conditions and how some woman ran her hand down her back in the shower, which is probably something that made her feel more sexual than she's ever felt in her damn life. Harvey sure as hell ain't gonna do it for her. She doesn't come across sympathetically because it didn't go well because she rolled her eyes. Go back and look at how many times this woman went. And how many times this woman went, I've been in lockup for 570 days. I can't believe it. That sigh was like, I'm better than this. I shouldn't even be here, even though I freaking contracted a murder of an innocent man. Wendy has not been charged, but has been repeatedly named in court filings. She has fought a subpoena to testify at her mother's trial by the defense, and we talked about that, arguing it could jeopardize her Fifth Amendment rights. Ehrenberg expects that Wendy will take the stand under immunity if called by the prosecution. And y'all, this goes back again to, these people all over the United States. And you know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about Idaho. Melanie Gibb, Melanie Pulaski, David Warwick, all these crazy-ass people like Audrey Barterio and all Serena Sharp, all these crazy-ass people getting away with all this shit to get the kingpins. Chad Daybell's on death row. Lori's back in Idaho there. I hope they give her an ass-whooping welcome. But it's unfortunate because these women, they're going to want some little sensation in their life now that their walls inside of Pocatello Women's Prison is all they've got. They're going to say and do whatever makes them feel good. And I'm sure Lori will make sure to slither like a snake, a viper, in between these women's legs and play footsie with them, whatever. But back to this case, and I'm sorry, I cannot help but apply what the hooker did and all of this. It's just, it rings true to me. Hey, how about this? Try this on for size. What's the use in having knowledge? What's the use in having knowledge if you can't apply it to different areas of your life? If you can't use it, what the hell? How smart do you have to be if you're not using it in life, right? But as for Donna, she'll testify too. This state attorney who is a friend of Dan Markell, he really believes she's going to testify. She really believes her story. Just like Lori. Lori she's in that self-induced denial, and she believes her own shit because it's the only thing that keeps her from facing reality that would make her want to fall down and freaking freak out and everything else because of what she really is. Donna believes her own story, he says, but just like Charlie, she'll learn the jury isn't buying it. Folks, if Donna goes on the stand and they've showed their hand She's not going to say, Charlie told me he was being extorted. She's not going to do that. She's already, in the opening statement, makes it look like, basically, this is my opinion, and maybe I'm short-sighted and I ain't seeing it fully. But the bottom line is Donna's trying to say that Charlie fooled her. He was the boss. That she was just writing the checks and signing them. That she didn't know this was for a murder for hire. And then on top of it all, she is talking about Wendy. Jackie Fulford brings out with Luis Rivera. When Luis Rivera, she asked about who wanted Dan Markel killed. Did Donna want Luis Rivera to elicit the testimony that it was the woman who had the children, Wendy Adelson? Is Donna really willing to throw Charlie and Wendy under the bus to go back to Harvey, go back to her high-rise? Maybe they'll go off to another country if she got out of it, right? She's got all this money, right? Well, I'll tell you what, it really is going to come down to what the state there in Florida decides to do with Charlie Adelson. As many of you know, who's been watching this whole saga, if you listen to Sarah Catherine Duggan in her opening statement, it pretty much mirrored Charlie Adelson's trial in terms of opening. But I'll tell you what, why don't you try this on for size? Because this is something different. Sarah Catherine Duggan said these exact words in opening statement. After the defendant was charged, law enforcement received information from women who said that the defendant, Donna Adelson, was offering them bribes in exchange for false testimony in this trial. They said Donna Adelson promised them money, housing, veneers, prescription drugs, if they were willing to testify that Catherine McBanawal told them a completely different story about the crime than the one that she would be testifying in Donna Adelson's trial. One informant, this is her words, exact word for word. One informant was even able to show law enforcement a script, and they put it up on the screen in Donna's handwriting words, y'all. Law enforcement, a script, a question and answer segment for direct examination in this trial, she said to the jury that's seated. That Donna Adelson herself wrote. Donna Adelson wanted this informant to memorize and come into court and perjure herself by reciting it to you here in this trial. So you tell me, with that up on the screen and that being said in opening statements, and you better damn well know it, that informant's coming in Donna Adelson's trial to explain Donna trying to get her to do this false testimony by bribing her. What would it be that Donna would get on the stand and say, I'm going to rebuff that by what? What's she going to say? I'm a better woman than all these inmates, and she's lying. She just wants special treatment. She just wants special treatment, and she told me this. I was just listening to her tell me this different story, and I felt it was so important to my case. Give me a break, y'all. Give me a break. So, not a whole lot in terms of the witnesses that came on the stand on Friday. There has been word that Wendy Adelson will testify on Monday. That's just a rumor. You know, KJ, I ain't gonna until I see it happening. It's, I don't know when. But I will say this. Donna Adelson, I don't care if she's 20, 30, 40, 75 years of age. The look on her face, the look on her face, and the words coming out of her mouth during the time before they busted them. She was so happy, wasn't she? She was so free. She had her grandchildren. She had exactly what she wanted. She had Wendy and Charlie under her thumb as usual. And now, what kind of control does Donna Adelson have now? Beach Lady says Wendy was the princess in the family. Donna won't give her up. Wendy was just smart enough to get her family to do her bidding. Hello, Edie Ruth. And Kathy Mama Bear, I missed you. I love you. I missed you. I didn't know where you was at. Hope Grace says it was Charlie's attorney's first murder trial, I heard. The Bethy Boob says, yes, been trying to stay busy. Good to see you all. And we're glad to see you, the Bethy Boob. Denise Gray says, Donna, go play in rush hour traffic. Exactly. I'm sure she would be very happy to be out of a jail cell running across a busy highway. In her mind, she'd probably make it to the other side. Harvey would be waiting there. Of course, he wouldn't be waiting in that black Lexus that he gave Catherine McBanawal. You know, he'd be in a different vehicle, probably a Mercedes, you know. Donna is her own worst enemy, says Kathy Barella. The Bethy Boob says, someone compared Donna's attorney to resembling Tom Petty, and I'm having a hard time seeing it any other way now. Well, Bethy Boob, Tom Petty was exactly a better looking person, but, you know, oh, you don't have to live like a refugee. Don't have to live like a refugee. Somewhere, somehow, somebody's gonna kick you around. So, yeah, Donna's gonna know all about that. She's gonna know all about being kicked around. At 75 years of age, oh, she made I have a daughter. I have a daughter in jail. Oh, yeah. Well, let's just see how she fares in prison. Because here's the bottom line, y'all. The state of Florida has a slam dunk case. And, you know, there was no plea agreement. There was nothing extended by the state. They wanted to drag this woman through the mud because all she ever did was drag Dan Markell through the mud and then had his ass murdered. Pure and simple. Good comment, the Bethy Boo. Hello, Fancy Nancy. Donna, if you are innocent, why did you flee? But don't you understand that, Denise Gray? She says she just wanted peace. That was in her pretrial hearing. She just wanted peace with Harvey. Then why an emergency fast track? Why get on a WhatsApp and hound these people? Why sit on the freaking open line and say, when you won't speak to me and I got to get my affairs in order and I might as well just die and all this other shit. Kathy Barilla says there's too much evidence against them, KJ. Cindy Arnold says, Donna's attorney appears to me that she's putting on a show and it's not going to go well. Hopefully the jurors see that. She doesn't look genuine. Y'all, it just really rubbed me the wrong way. You wouldn't think it would because Jackie Fulford did say some good things about Dan Markell. And yes, that's the reason they're there. Was it Jackie Fulford's idea to talk on and on about Danny because the state didn't really go into that? No, the state is there to nail Donna Adelson's ass to the wall. Pure and simple. I've told y'all time and time again, man's law is cruel as hell. It is what it is. Disgraced judge and funeral home attorney Jackie Fulford threw Wendy under the bus big time. Oh yeah, Kathy. You know it. You've always been right on the money on that. Fancy Nancy says, Mama Bear, isn't that the truth? Hope Grace says, there are a number of elderly persons that have been convicted and also executed. Justice does not discriminate. She can try and act the part, but jurors will not be fooled. Good comment there. And I think it was a couple of streams ago, y'all, I said, OKJ really didn't know. I wasn't thinking of who, it was a high profile case that was elderly and all that, but I took some time to think about what I'd asked all of y'all. Melody Ferris. Melody Ferris had everything in the world going for us, and look what she did. You see what I'm saying? That it took some time for OKJ to click it together, but it was there. Jay Cass says the jury's not going to like her, in my opinion, and I agree with that, Jay Cass. That's why I said she got what she wanted. They have full control of the boys, says Just Me. Exactly. I hate that the boys, for the boys, but I find it ironic that she changed it because of notoriety, and now the Adelson name is more notorious. Exactly, Kathleen. In fact, in Charlie Adelson's case, when Wendy was on the stand, Georgia Kappelman said, talked about changing the name and everything. And Wendy's like, I was just worried. But it was a whole year after, and a year after what happened. What happened was they all started talking about the Adelson family had done this. So it was the Adelson name that was the notorious name, just as you say, Kathy Mama Bear. She changed the boy's last name too. Yes, Donna was a grade school teacher. Kathy Barella, Donna was a substitute teacher. And there is a difference, I think, because I taught substitute teaching for 7 years when my children were little. And there's a big difference. A substitute teacher just goes by lessons plans. They pick someone out in the class to help them through it because they're called that morning because the teacher's sick or something. The bottom line is a teacher is far beyond a substitute teacher. Pure and simple. No matter how much of an education Donna Adelson had. Jay Cass says all you have to know is that they changed the boy's last name. It says it all. Exactly. And the jury's going to see that. You know what, y'all? They talked about, 8 men and 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Was it 6 women? 8 men and 6 women? Somebody tell me the demographic and makeup of the jury. I think it's 8 men and 6 women. Correct me if I'm wrong. I want someone on here who's been keeping track of this. Come on, right now. Put it in the comments. What is the makeup of Donna Adelson's jury? Come on, I want to see it. I want to see people using their freaking dang mind because KJ doesn't have many brain cells in my head. Come on. Oh, is Tom here? Okay, come on. I want to see this. No Lester 69, 6 to 7. 8 men and 6 women, says Kathy Mama Bear. I can always count on you to. You're you're the bomb, Kathy. Certified and classified. Difference with teaching, says Speech Lady. 6 women, 8 men. Okay, there you go. Thank you, Mary Sadler. Thank you, Jet Set J. Thank y'all so much. See, I can't think of everything. What have I told y'all for years? If OKJ had all the answers, I wouldn't be coming out here talking to all of y'all. You know how much I appreciate and respect all of your wisdom, education, and everything else. Thank you, No Lester 69. 8 men, 6 women, says Hope Grace. So anyway, y'all, Monday, will Wendy, will she testify? Who else is up? Who else is going to get on the stand? Is Catherine McBanawal going to get on the stand? I mean, Georgia Kappelman says at least 2 weeks. They've lauded 2 to 3 weeks. But Georgia said that maybe 2 weeks. I mean, everything's clicking right along. You notice that the defense is not cross-examining some of these witnesses. Oh, Kuro says 2 days till my birthday. Well, happy birthday, Kuro. Did anyone see the picture Kathy Russon posted on Twitter of Wendy? She is not aging well. Well, I'll tell you what. Just as this state attorney who was friends with Dan Markell said that Donna would have never been charged had it not been for Charlie. Charlie would have never been charged had it not been for Catherine McBanawa. And then back to the hitman, right? Will Wendy get charged? Will Harvey? Harvey seems to feel like he's in the free and clear to get on these websites with all these Vietnamese women and talk about all these exotic ideas. Poor Harvey. If Harvey wasn't involved, I would think that Harvey would have, it would maybe be accessory after the fact, but I don't think he was in on it. Harvey's too damn, he's rock dumb, and there's just too much evidence that Charlie and Donna was trying to keep shit from Harvey. But anyway, the bottom line is this, y'all. We got Monday coming. I appreciate all the Rays and others that I love so dearly coming on here and letting KJ act like an idiot. You know how I am, me and my satirical nonsense. You know, I don't make a really great Donna Adelson, but I will say this. I'll do anything to get people thinking. Some people think globally. Some people think linear learners or whatever. Folks, KJ's going to get justice through understanding, and I hope you are getting it as well. I love you all. Thank y'all so much for being here. We'll get together soon. Sorry that Donna couldn't answer any of your questions, but like I said, she's a liar. She's a damn liar, and she's going to have to pay the piper. Pure and simple. So with that being said, have a great rest of the weekend. I'll see y'all Monday night because you know KJ's going to be talking about this every evening. It's going to be probably pop up on the live stream, so be looking, all right? And with that being said, thank y'all. Just me, Kathy, Hope Grace, any of the other, Fancy Nancy, obviously, all of anyone that modded. Thank y'all so much for making this a safe place and a good place for everyone to enjoy this channel. And with that being said, we'll see you Monday night and keep on.